Good morning. We don't even have Len yet.
Hi guys, good morning. I'm here.
Good morning.
Karen, do you want to co?
Sure.
All right.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. Oh, Marion, I like your sweater.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Did you make that?
Amanda made her hat though. Look at the two.
I did because it is. Oh, it's warmed up to 59. It was 51 degrees in the office when I got here.
Oh, that's not.
I love the hat.
Thank you. Oh, it's reversible.
Look
too.
at the two of you.
Wow.
The two of you match.
I have a hat making kit my daughter-in-law bought me. I haven't been brave enough to try it.
Amanda
really
uses
easy.
the machine. She's really.
Yeah, I do mine. I have a cranky machine. I'm doing a craft fair this weekend in Union.
So as long as nobody else comes on and you can be quiet and not say anything, this is the baby blanket.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
That's beautiful.
Getting there. It would
Very
be
nice.
5 inches bigger had I not kept ripping it out.
What's the fun of needlework if you don't destroy it and then redo it and then destroy it and then redo it?
But it's really getting there. It's getting there. It's 17 inches square.
That's gorgeous.
Nice. Linda, in answer to your question, this sweater is an old Chico sweater from years and years ago. And it's still living.
Yeah. The stuff I have from them from years ago is actually very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I used to love it years ago.
The new stuff, not so much.
No, me neither.
I'm better at J. Jill these days.
I like J. Jill, but I miss Coldwater Creek because I have a lot of stuff from it.
And there is not one around, right?
No, they went out.
Yeah.
Linda, what's the name of the place you said?
J. Jill.
Oh,
J. Jill.
J. Jill. Which I go to also.
Are they local?
They're in the Short Hills Mall.
Oh.
And online.
So
you play online and then you go to the mall.
Right. Right. But don't go these days because the access for everything was like bumper to bumper.
Oh God, yeah. I won't go near the mall till I don't know when.
Mid-January.
January.
Well, I'll go, but I'll go like early or at an off time.
I think in the past 8 years I go to the mall once a year and it's for a picture with Santa with my son. It's the only time I do it. Good morning, Len. Do you want to be co-host? Let's see.
Sure. Co-host and
Come on, Len, you can do it.
All right. I am muting myself and turning off my camera, but I am here with ears open.
Thank you, Amanda.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, staff meetings at 10:30, so I may bump off a little bit early, but I'm here.
Yeah, but yeah,
okay, I'm here.
A little over today, so keep it running. Okay.
Len, is this the last class?
The last class is today. Unless we don't get through most of the material, we'll see.
Okay. It wasn't clear from the email whether you were going to continue or not.
Well, that's because it's been tentative.
Say again?
That's because the finish is tentative.
Oh, okay. Just want to check. It's not on my calendar. Thank you.
We're well supplied for a few years from now. Right now, we're just getting by with what we've got on the bigger trees. The trees since the fire are still all relatively small.
But there's still plenty of trees to go around. Wolf says the supply is keeping up with the demand. And once you find your tree,
Hmm.
Maybe we won't be that much to see. It's like to hear.
Sorry, my hair's wet. I just took a
Swimming or showering?
showering. I wish I was swimming. I'm looking forward to the music.
We all are.
Everybody,
Good
good to
morning.
see you. Len, you know that I have to sign off at about 10:20, right?
Right, right.
Okay. And you know, I'll just say it, not everybody's here yet, but Len, we all appreciate what an incredible module this has been. It's a difficult subject, but you made it interesting. You always do. I think we all learned a tremendous amount. And it was also engaging, participatory, really just was excellent, really well done, well planned out. We're happy to have this other, give you this additional session to do the music, and we're all interested in hearing and learning about that. And I'll just tell everybody who is on now, I think next Monday we'll take a little hiatus. There won't be any session, any module next Monday. And then watch your announcements and the emails to look for a lot of great things that are coming up soon. So thank you again, Len.
Thank you so much, Cantor. I'd like to be able to get through the material I have today. So if those of you who are able to stay on a little past 10:30, so we can finish up, that would be super. Okay. We're going to begin now. And most of the music I'm going to show you is actually from Psalm 23, which you all know. And interestingly, and we talked about this before, that in the Orthodox tradition at Yizkor, Psalm 23 is not said, but in the non-Orthodox traditions, it is. Psalm 23 is said in all traditions, including the Orthodox, at burial. So those of you who've been paying close attention in prior classes, why would this be? Just pipe up. Give you a hint. In order to say, right, we say Kaddish, right, in the conservative synagogue, right, after we say Psalm 23. Okay, so in order to say Kaddish, as we've learned in our Kaddish classes, that one needs to recite biblical verses. So, of course, Psalms is the biblical verses. So you have it. And in the Orthodox tradition, at the cemetery, Psalm 23 needs to be said so that you can say the burial Kaddish right there at the graveside. So that's one reason that we have it. Another reason is that it is a very short psalm, and even Christians know this, probably as much as Jews know this, and they probably use it at their funerals too. It only has 6 verses. It's not the shortest psalm in the Psalter in the Book of Psalms, but it's one of them. And is very comforting. It's images of trust and of God's providing for us all the days of our life, dwelling in God's house, God's reviving our souls, being with us all the length of our days. And although in the Bible, including Psalms, there is no reference to the afterlife, however, the rabbis, in post-biblical times, decided that this psalm is full of the afterlife, God's enduring trust in us, providing for us, restoring our souls, even as we walk through the valley of the shadow of death and all that. For them, it's replete with afterlife imagery. And what could be better at a funeral or at a Yizkor or a Yahrzeit than to recite Psalm 23. So I'm going to share, and let's hope my sharing works, and let's see what goes. Actually, let me try that. Need to share the sound. Okay, now. Hope everybody sees this. I'm not able to. There we go. Okay. So this is a melody by an Israeli of Moroccan descent, just to get you into some alternate ways of hearing Psalm 23.
שובר ינחני במעגלי צדק למען שמו גם כי ילך בגיא צל מוות לא ירא כי אתה עמד בשבתך ובשעתך המה ינחמוני תערוך לפניי
So we have that, and I'm going to show you how it's chanted in some non-Ashkenazic traditions in the synagogue. This is from a Jerusalem Sephardic synagogue and cantor.
מזמור לדוד, אדוני רועי, לא יחסר, בנאות דשא ירביצני, על מי מנוחות ינהלני, נפשי ישובב, ינחני במעגן הצדק, למען שמו, גם כי אלך בגיא צל מוות, לא אירא רע. כי אתה עמדי, שבטך ומשענתך, המה ינחמוני. תערוך לפניי שולחן נגד צורריי, דשנת בשמן ראשי, כוסי רוויה. לך טוב וחסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי וישבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים.
Very different, right? The more the Oriental sound, the Mizrahi sound, and here's another version, Yemenite prayer leader.
مزمار لدايد أذناي رأي لأحصار بنات داشا يربي صيني علم منوحات يناليني نفسي يا شباب ينحيني بمجال
And this is by an Israeli singer, David Da'or, of Libyan background.
I chose Wix for my business because of its massive scope for functionality and freedom.
השם רואי לא אחסר בינו דשא ירביצני על מי מנוחות ינעלני נפשי ישובב ינחני ומג לצדק למען שמו בשמן ראשי כוסי רוויה אך טוב החסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי ושבתי בבית השם לאורך ימים.
Right now we move on to the origin of the melody we all know.
Future Rebbe, you know. We davened there and we'd eat the meals over there. But since he left and I was on my own, so I decided one Shabbos to go and visit my uncle. And during the afternoon, I was not feeling well. I had a little bit of a cold. My throat was hurting me. So I decided I won't go to daven Mincha. I'll stay home and I'll eat the Shabbat Shudas in my aunt's house. In other words, my uncle went to daven and I stayed there. And as I was sitting in eating Shabbat Shudas, I opened up the siddur to Mizmor David. The melody came to me. Mizmor David, Shem Ro'i Lo Yesa, Mirois Deshe Yabitzeini, Amei Menuchos Yinaleini. I'm singing, and I keep on going and going and going. I say, wow, this sounds great. This is not how do you remember this? It's Shabbos. I can't write it down. I can't do anything. It wasn't too bad. It was only like a half hour before you can make Havdalah, you know. So I kept repeating it. So I shouldn't forget it. Kept repeating it. I was there all by myself. My yenta wasn't even sitting there. She didn't.
3 parts?
All 3 parts. This came and.
Wow.
You know, that's the best way to compose, believe me.
Oh, yes. Just don't
when it
stop.
comes, when it flows, I think with the Hamavdil, also came in one sitting, without having to go back and repeating. And
so you remembered and wrote it down right after Shabbos?
as soon as after Shabbos, I took a piece of paper and wrote it down. I wish I would have found it. I could find a piece of paper. They didn't have any.
Made some lines.
They didn't have any.
No music paper.
They didn't have any music paper. I made my
some
lines
real quick, and you
I do
wrote
that I do that very often.
It's been about 3 pages. I mean, it's a long melody.
Yeah.
The whole thing. The whole. Wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. Okay, and although I have a recording of it, Cantor Wallach, would you be gracious enough to sing Psalm 23 for us in the Ben Zion Schenker melody?
Happy to, Lynn. Thank you for inviting me, asking me to do that. Just one little comment on it, that I will not be singing the way that he pronounces the Hebrew. So I'll do it the more Sephardic traditional pronunciation, not traditional pronunciation, the modern pronunciation. Here we go. Mizmor leDavid, Adonai roi lachzan, binot asher yarbitzeni, al mei menuchot yenaleini. Nafshi yeshovev, nafshi yeshovev, yancheni b'maglei tzedek, leman shemo, gam ki eilech b'gei Salmavet, lo irara, ki ata imadi, shivtecha umishantecha, shivtecha umishantecha, Heima hinachamuni, taroch lefanai shulchan, taroch lefanai shulchan, taroch lefanai shulchan, neged zorarai, di shanta vashemen roshi, di shanta vashemen roshi, di shanta vashemen roshi, kosi revaya. Ach tov v'chesed yirdefuni kol yemei chayai, v'shavti beveit Adonai, v'shavti beveit Adonai, leorech yamim, yailai, yailai, yailai,
Thank you so much, Cantor.
I've had to sing that at many funerals. It's beautiful.
Wait, when you sing this at Yisker, I think it takes all of us to just a higher place and in connection with our loved ones, like nothing else does. It so elevates our own spirits.
Thank you. I appreciate, Lynn, I appreciate you saying that. What helps me to feel elevated is not this setting, but when I'm singing with the congregation and I hear everyone singing with me and I hear harmonies. So actually, when I sing it by myself, a solo, I hear the harmonies, I hear other voices in my head singing along, and that's kind of how I feel lifted by the harmonies, the voices of those who join and singing together with me. So thank you, Len. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, Susan, Gordon.
When was this composed? I mean, it's fairly recent.
Maybe the 1980s, something like that. I mean, he died, I think, late 1990s or early 2000. By the way, the interviewer is Hank Netsky, related to Joe Netsky in our neighborhood, the founder of the Cosmetics. Yeah, he didn't die that long ago, and so it's a recent melody. In our lifetimes. It's not from me Sinai, as they say. Let's see if I can reshare.
It's beautiful. I love it every time it's sung.
Yes.
It has a different sound when it's done. The music that's the Sephardic melodies is very Israeli, very pop, and when the cantor does it, it's a different animal.
Well, the Israeli singers, I mean, there's a whole movement in Israel to take melodies, words, liturgy from the Bible and from piyutim, liturgical poems, and set them to contemporary melodies. It's big in Israel. I mean, that's what. But the Sephardic melodies you heard, those are used in the Sephardic synagogue, Mizrahi synagogue. So let's see if I can. Okay, here's another melody for it that is used. The composer was a major force in American Jewish music in the latter part of the 20th century. Maxwell Berg.
Adonai ro'i lo echsar binoteshe yarbitzeini al mei menuchot yenahaleini nafshi eshovev Yancheni v'maglei tzedek le'ma'an shemo Gam ki elech begeit zalmavet lo irora ki ata imadi Shantecha Hema Yenachamuni Ta'aroch lefanai shulchan neged Tzorirai Dishanta Vashem en Roshi Kosirvaya Ach Tova Chesed Yodefuni Kol Yemei Chayai Vishavti Bevet Adonai Le'orech Yami.
Find that a stunning melody as well. That So there are other melodies in conservative synagogues or perhaps Reformed synagogues other than the Schenker melody. This one is, to me, is also very striking. Sue Cohn, you had your hand raised. Was there a comment you wanted to make?
Yes. My question is, and it may be more for Cantor Wallach or for you, I don't know. This man comes up with this gorgeous melody. He goes home, he sings it at his synagogue that week. How does it get around? Does the conservative movement have melodies that they officially support and encourage? You know, how does this happen?
Well, Ben-Zion Shenker was a major composer. I think he had a day job that was not music related, but he was a major composer of synagogue music. How melody spread, I don't know. That's beyond me. Cantor, do you have any idea?
Well, I do think that part of it is just when someone hears a beautiful melody, and when someone writes a melody that they know or that they think is going to be great, like they want it to be out there. So first of all, there are not many left, unfortunately, but there are some Jewish music publishers. Cantor's Assembly does publish some music as well, so cantors can purchase music that way, and other people can also purchase music through these various publishers who now have been taken over by bigger publishers, but whatever. There used to be more music, Jewish music publishers than there are now. But one way that these days, and we're very fortunate to have this, and I'm sure that this is what Len did to collect music for this session, is everybody's got YouTube and everybody's making YouTubes except me, but everybody else is making YouTubes of themselves singing things, and they just put it out there. And you can, if you're looking for a Psalm 23, you can just Google or do a search on YouTube. And I think one of the things that, Len, you'll probably find that you have found this too, when I'm trying to do research to collect music to present for a class, you have to go through a lot of, unless if you're not familiar with it, a lot of things that are really just not that good, to come up with the few things that are good, so that are worth listening to and sharing. So Len, I appreciate that you probably put a lot of extra hours beyond what we see here to sift through music that was probably so-so.
Yes.
Are there things that are promulgated by the various seminaries, though?
Yes. I mean, there are different songbooks that come out every year with new music that like Transcontinental publishes and other publications, and there are musical Rising Song, which started by Joanne Weisenberg, has music coming out all the time by people associated with him. There's a lot more music coming out now than ever, I think.
Right, no, absolutely. But I think also, Len, when there are composers that are known to have already written beautiful music, like Joey Weisenberg, many others, or even from Israel, Nava Tehila, then people go to those sources to see if there's other, like if they're looking for a particular piece, if you're looking for a new Adon Olam, or a new whatever the prayer is, a melody, then you look to those sources. That's what I do as a cantor. I'm going to look first to the sources that I that are already proven to have beautiful melodies that I enjoy and that I think are worth singing and bringing to the congregation.
I'd like to move on because there's a lot of music I'd like to share. Okay, Marion, this may be a brief comment.
Yeah, I just want to say Max Wahlberg was a very famous cantor, old-time cantor. He taught at Women's League Institute, and I had the pleasure of taking a class with him, and he was just a delight.
Yeah, he was the head of the Cantors Assembly, I believe, and when that started. Yes.
Does everybody know the well-known melody that we all sing pretty much every Shabbat that was his? Len, you know it?
Which one?
Max Wahlberg from the Amidah.
Melody.
Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed.
Yeah,
that's Max Wahlberg's.
Okay, I'd like to move on to these are an American rabbi and his wife who emigrated to Israel, made Aliyah some years ago, and he's a Reformed congregation in Israel. I've actually heard this and happen to love this. This is a very different melody because it's very upbeat. But again, Psalm 23 is actually a very upbeat psalm. It is not sad. you look at the words again, it is very comforting. Wait, no. Here we go. It's going. And then why is this not doing this? Something's happening here. Okay. It should work. Yeah.
He's blessing with me. She's the last one in the line. He holds my hand.
I hope the volume is loud enough on this. I'm not sure it will be.
Firmly, and he's chanting Allah al-Haq, Allah al-Haq, which I know in Arabic is God is truth.
Here we go.
You can try to join us.
Very different, right? Kind of upbeat reggae, kind of. But I happen to like this a lot, and I have their album, and all their songs are kind of in that mode. This is just concentrating on. Why does it keep doing this? This is Rabbi and Cantor Angela Buchdahl from Central Synagogue, a Gerald Cohn melody. Very powerful, very different. Yes. Now, this from Julie Weisenberg. Why does it keep doing that?
בגית המוות לא יירא רע כי אתה עמדי שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני תערוך לפני שולחן נגד צורריי תשעת בשמן ראשי כוסי רוויה רוויה אך טוב החסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי.
Very different. And another Gam Ki Elech by Rabbi Josh Warshawski, who was actually an artist in residence at Congregation B'nai Israel before he became famous, about, I don't know, 12 years ago, 13 years ago.
אתה עמדי גם כי אלך בגיא המוות לא אירא רע כי אתה עמדי גם כי אלך בגיא המוות לא אירא רע כי אתה עמדי גם כי אלך בגיא המוות לא אירא רע כי אתה עמדי כי אתה עמדי כי אתה עמדי כי אתה עמדי אך טוב טוב וחסד אך טוב טוב וחסד אך טוב טוב וחסד ירדפוני 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 כל ימי חיי 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 כל ימי חיי
That. Move on to something very different. So sometimes just a few words from Psalm 23 are used And I'm going to play you this melody, which is actually one of the first of this type that I've learned. And I've used in the CBI chanting circle that we used to have until last year. Henry was one of my regulars, and Debbie was one of my regulars. But this melody is from the chanting tradition from Rabbi Shepard.
Jiffy Lube introduced the quick oil change. At Jiffy Lube Multi-Care, we also do brake.
Chanting by its nature is
Translated.
Kosi Ripaya, my cup runneth over, which is from the psalm. So, and along with that, we'd be imagining, visualizing our cups running over and sinking into the melody, and hopefully getting into a place that transcends, the usual stuff going through our minds. Take us to that place. Now, here's an interesting mashup of Psalm 27, which is used on the High Holiday period, and 23, with both of them.
Big ideas.
דוד השם, אורי ואישי, אורי ואישי ממהרה. השם מעוז חיי, אי ממי אפחד, אי ממי אפחד. אם תחנה עלי מחנה, לא יירא ליבי. אם תקום עלי מלחמה, בזאת אני פותח. גם כי אלך בגצל מוות, לא אירא רע. אוי אוי אוי, אוי אוי אוי, כי אתה עמדי. אוי אוי אוי, אוי אוי אוי, כי אתה עמדי.
So that's what I have for Psalm 23. I'd like to move on to another prayer that is part of Yizkor, and that's the El Malei Rachamim prayer. This prayer is said in the East European Ashkenazic tradition. It is not actually said in the West European tradition, although maybe by now all traditions do it. Sephardim do not recite El Malei Rachamim. At Yizkor, they have the Hashkavah prayer that we talked about last week. And actually, instead of having Cantor Ari Schwartz from the Park Avenue Synagogue do it, we have our very own Cantor Wallach, who can share that El Malay, and if you want to say a few words about it. The El Malay prayer that does make reference to the afterlife, and quoting it, kind of a rooting to a phrase in Daniel, that the souls will shine like the stars, like firmament in heaven, in Mashirim, that's the only place in the Bible, and Daniel is a very late book that has any sort of a reference to the afterlife, and it has those words in it.
So I'm actually going to say the prayer today for somebody. I just learned moments ago, saw something came through on my phone that Omer Nutra, who was thought to be a hostage, was actually killed on October 7th, and his body is being held by Hamas. And Omer Nutra is a friend of my children from Camp Rama Nayak, and this is just really devastating news. So bear with me. I am going to actually say this prayer in his memory. So this is not just a demonstration, but this is a prayer if anybody is so moved to stand up and pray along with me for his soul and for his family. מלא רחמים, שוכן במרומים, המצא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה. במעלות קדושים וטהורים כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים לנשמת עומר בן רונן ואורנה שהלך לעולמו בגן עדן, בגן עדן תהי מנוחתו. בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, וצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתו. אדוני הוא נחלתו וינוח בשלום על משכבו, ונאמר אמן.
Thank you, Cantor. I'd like to move on to another song that is often used at Iskar services, Yesh Kol Chavim. see the English for yourself here. It's an introduction to it by the Zamir Chorale of Boston, but there is a version that is used in musical services.
The lyrics to this song were written by Chana Senesh, an Israeli poet and World War II war hero. In February 1943, before enlisting in the British Army, she was living on Kibbutz Sedot Yam. She wrote this Hebrew poem. There are stars whose light reaches us only after they themselves are cold and gone. There are people whose radiant memory lights the world after they are no longer among us. These lights, shining in the darkest night, are what show us the way.
I think this was done in the time of the pandemic. But the melody has been around for a good 20, 30 years.
יש כוכבים שאורם מגיע ארצה, רק כאשר הם עצמם עבדו ואינם. יש אנשים שזיו זכרם מאיר, כאשר הם עצמם אינם עוד בתוכם. בחשכת הליל הם שמראים לאדם את הדרך, הם שמראים לאדם את הדרך.
There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light. Long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember.
The song is sung in English and Hebrew. There's a cantor doing it for the musical service.
Stars up above, so far away we only see their light. Long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memory ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember as we live.
And she goes into the Hebrew, kind of lovely, lovely melody. So there are words in the Yizkor that is not officially part of the Yizkor, but there are words that are officially part of the Yizkor. And if you have a Machzor Lev Shalom, you can find it on page 290. We have the opening verses which start with, God, what are human beings that you take account of them, mortals that you care for them, right? Adonai ma'adam batadehu, ben anosh batechashvehu, right? Now, the last few words there are, and it's actually on our synagogue walls, on the east wall, Limnot yemenu kein halda benavi levav chachma. Teach us to count each day that we may acquire a heart of wisdom. And there are melodies that have been composed for those words, which are again, part of the Yizkor service. Play that. And used by some singers.
Wix gives you the freedom to tell your story.
Starts in English, goes in.
Limnot yameinu, limnot yameinu, limnot yameinu kein hoda benavi levav chochma, limnot yameinu kein hoda benavi levav chochma. Teach us to treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day, that we may open our hearts to your wisdom. Teach us to treasure each day, that we may open our hearts to your wisdom. Oh, teach us to treasure each day. Treasure each day. Teach us.
Now, there's that, and cantor. Beautiful. So the Romamu Shul in New York uses that in their Yizkor, and what they do is they give out rose petals for people to hold, while during the Yizkor service, making kind of a more visceral connection with our loved ones that we have lost. But this tune is just gets me every time. This is Louis Lewandowski was the German Reform composer in the late 19th century. responsible for a lot of our synagogue music to this day, and on the Shaviti Adonai, which is actually also part of the Yizkor service. If you have your Machzor Lev Shalem on page 90, you'll see it toward the bottom. Shiviti Adonai lenegdi tamed. God is always before me at my right hand lest I fall. And then some other verses there. Therefore I'm glad, made happy, though I know that my flesh will lie in the ground forever. Okay. And this is his. And why does that?
Shalom, everyone. My name is Eris Soref. I'm the president of One for Israel. I'm sure many.
It's an Israeli. One more to show you, to send you off with, based on the same verse, Shiviti Adonai lenegdi tamid, and God is always before me. This one is what's called a kirtan, which is a call and response, and again designed to take us to a different place. There you have it. I'm going to stop my share. Thank you so much for joining me these 5 weeks. It's been my pleasure to do this. I always learn by teaching. It's the best way to learn something is to teach it. And it's been a joy to share it all with you. We have had good discussions our prior 4 sessions. So any thoughts, reactions, comments on any of the music you heard today? Merle?
I just wanted to say something about Cantor Wahlberg's Mizmor LeDavid. I first heard that in my first time in my whole life that I thought of it, or think I heard it, was at my father's Shiva. And Rabbi Greenstein, who you know, was there, and he sang that or chanted that. I thought I was going to collapse. I literally was weak in the knees from how moving that was, especially when you were in a morning stage of your life. And so many people turned out to the Shiva that I didn't know. They weren't friends of mine. They didn't know my father. That it started a practice of mine to go to every single Shiva that was I found out through my synagogue. And because this community supported me so much, I decided that this was something I wanted to do. And a secondary reason was so that I could hear Rabbi Greenstein chant Mizmor LeDavid again. So it's very meaningful to me.
Thank you for sharing that, Merle. Geraldine?
I'm very musical, and it's always been one of the most beautiful melodies I have ever heard, and I love it. And I've been at places where unfortunately they don't chant it at all, but they just recite the prayer. And it's just a beautiful traditional prayer. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Len. It was a wonderful class.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing everything you've done with us. It's just a beautiful, beautiful time.
Thank you.
Appreciate everything you do, Lynn. It's very
sure.
we learn a lot.
Really great, Len. Really terrific.
Thank you.
Thank
Len,
you.
thanks for everything you.
Thank you all for being here. Have a great day, and we'll see you eventually. Okay.
Thank you, Len.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Len.
Thank you.
Thank you, Len.
Some Hanukkah songs.
Well,
Yep.
stay tuned. You never know.
Other than I had a little dreidel.